How come are we talking about monetization of our future product so early in the process? We have 12 milestone process. This is only milestone number 4. We don't even have wireframes yet. So how can we talk about monetization when we don't even know how the product will function? Well, that is the very reason why. Because if we concept a product with monetization in mind, if that is our main focus, as obviously we work for money, we build stuff to make money, not for glory. Maybe at some stage in our lives, but majority is not in that phase. Monetization principles of our future product will influence features of the product. So if we know there's influence to the features of the product, what they will be, how they will work, how they will split across the application, we can't really make wireframes for it, sketch any concepts, and then think about monetization later, and then we have to revise something we've done in the past. So this entire process has reasoning why each step is done after another. We first concepted the idea, then we define who will use the product, then we define what is the value these users will have. Now we'll think how we make money from the value that we'll produce. Then we can start sketching. So let's focus on monetization. We have 4 actions to take in this milestone. In the first one, we are going to define if our product is freemium or a premium product. What does that mean? Freemium is a pricing strategy by which we offer our product free of charge, but we do charge for additional features, services, or virtual or physical goods. A strategy is such that we must acquire a massive user base very quickly through different means of marketing, and once we have that user base, we can offer our monetization features. On the other hand, if the product is premium pricing strategy means that the product must be purchased in order to be used. So how come we are defining monetization pricing strategy straight away, so early in the process, is because they obviously influence the features of the product and the product itself. So let's talk about MeetMe application again as our use case. And I have decided to go for a freemium model, as this is a social tool which has mechanisms that are going to be built in that provide potential for exponential growth through a free user base. What does that mean? If one user installs an app and invites another one or another 10, that user will spread the word exponentially about the product and it will acquire more users. So if my product is a premium one, and if that one user who purchased an app invites others, they cannot use the app until they purchase it and have a barrier for exponential growth of the product. But if that one user invites 10 of them, and especially that I'm thinking of having a web version where user doesn't even have to install an app in order to be invited into the process, then I have really widespread resources mechanism to exponentially grow my app. When I attract massive number of users, then I can introduce the monetization features that I will define and start monetizing on the product. In the action number 2, we get to a bit of complications, as action 2 is also action 3 somehow, so let me try to explain. We might have decided to go for a freemium or a premium pricing strategy. So if you're going for a freemium pricing strategy, we know the core of the product so far, we know the main value propositions of the product, so we can obviously very easily conclude what are the core features of the product. So taking MeetMe as an example that you've been following so far, we have to be able to find or search for address of the meeting, to invite other people into the process, follow each other's location until we reach the location, the destination, and number 4, be informed as everybody is reaching the destination and close the process. Now, this is very obvious as this is the freemium pricing strategy. What happens if we decided for MeetMe app to be a premium pricing strategy application, what happens then? First of all, we cannot market this product how we intended to. As I said, throughout the entire process, you have to start thinking straight away how you're gonna get this product out to the market. So as the entire time I have been thinking of this product winning the mass audiences and then monetizing, it is obvious it's going to be freemium. Now, if I thought it's gonna be premium, I cannot go for masses, first of all. I cannot go through promoting it through social means, as explained previously as well. If I purchase a product and invite 10 people, they all must purchase the product, which is not going to happen. It's ridiculous, right? So I already came up with mechanism that people don't even have to install an app when I invite them, because they can use simplified web version, and if they like the product, they can install it and then utilize them themselves. If I went for a premium model, these core features must be, of course, functional once you buy a product. And what that would mean, I cannot promote product socially. I must find businesses which will purchase these products on a mass scale. What's the problem here? I have already identified target audiences and thought of main value propositions to them. So obviously this process and my intuition have led me to a simple conclusion that the product is freemium. I would have thought of the product totally differently if I wanted to go for the premium model. But that would come up during defining my target audiences, as I would not say I would go for travelers, friends, colleagues, recreational athletes, whatnot. But I would say, I see this business is making a use of it and this sort of business is making a use of it. So that would mean I would go to a company which has 50, 100,000 employees or 10,000 employees and be able to offer them a product for purchase on a mass scale. Then, if I'm going to define my price later on for this premium product, I must offer much more in my first version, not only the core of the product, which means the cost of me delivering the product will be much higher, but I will start monetizing much sooner. When concepting a new digital product, as what we're doing right now, we have one very important thing working against us at all times. That is that we cannot base any assumptions on real statistics and real data, even though we might think we can. It tends to become totally irrelevant, the data that we produce. The most important data that we can produce is exactly the data we're producing with this 12 milestone process. And the best that we can get from this 12 milestone process is to produce our data which makes us self-informed about what we know about the products, what we know about the business that we're conducting, and this data will help us produce informative, intuitive decisions when building this product. As again, there's no data we can rely on other than data that lies within us. So we must be able to base decisions, informative decisions, on intuition based on the data we hold in ourselves. In this fourth action, we're gonna define features that will be premium features of our freemium pricing strategy, or what are the features that will be introduced later in the stage of development of our product if you go for the premium model. As we have so far worked on a broad set of ideas for the product, came up with a lot more while defining our target audiences and main value propositions. Maybe we even thought of a few extra ones when thinking about monetization. We're going to create another table and cross-reference features, make a list of all of them, and have two columns. In the first one saying what are the core features, and in the second one stating what are the premium features, just cross-checking. We have already mentioned the core features of the MeetMe app, so I'm not going to repeat them, but you knowing the product so well so far, If you don't, please review my previous episodes, go to the Medium or just pre-order the product. You'll get some more info from there. I'm going to go through this table that I've prepared for the MeetMe app, and I'm going to list a few. So first of all, that I see really needed in the future would be a group chat. That feature showed up during some previous phases of concepting, and talking with my team, we did conclude that when people are inside the process looking at the map, it would be easier to chat between themselves inside the app rather than switching between WhatsApp or what other app and the MeetMe app. So why not add the group chat app? Group chat functionality. Let's see what's next. One of the things we want to do in terms of the premium features is to limit amount of people that can be invited within a freemium model to, let's say, 10, and then any other larger scale of people inside the process would fall under premium features. Why would that be? For the reason that if you need to invite more than 10 people, maybe it will be 30, I don't know yet, in the process, that will signify that you're using the product on an advanced level, maybe as a business or near business experience. So that would be good reasoning, especially potentially when we come to technical requirements, which is like milestone number 11, maybe we will realize that the more people in the process would consume more cloud resources and would cost more to host such solutions. So maybe that's the reason why some features of the product must go under a premium set of features. One interesting thing would be, as we were talking and thinking about tourist guides, where how the process goes. I'm sure you used travel guide before. So you would meet at the destination. So you buy a ticket and you're told to go to a certain destination. Once you meet there, that would be the first use case where you have a destination where to meet with the guide. Once you meet with the guide, how cool it would be that, I know I said don't base a product on something that's cool, but I'm going to explain. How cool it would be if that guide who invited you to destination and met you there with 20 of you would now say, now the destination is me. I am the MeetMe marker. So as the guide is moving, the destination is moving as the guide is the destination, which would mean everybody follows him. If they get lost, get stuck watching it at souvenirs, whatever, you can pick up and see they're straight over there. So that would be something very interesting, and it leans towards business case users. And then how about you're traveling with a group of people for business, and you have one meeting after another at different locations. So it would be really good if one of the features that would fall after in the premium payment strategy is that you can schedule more locations for subsequent meetings. So you can define time and name of the meeting and when it happens, so you can define more meetings before it actually happens, not just one. And let's see, assign subsequent meeting spots to the same group of people. So instead of sharing over and over again, I create 10 meetings, define everything, and share them to the same group of people just with one action, not 10 actions. It consumes a lot of time. So those are some of the things we're thinking as the monetization features. You'll see later on, in the next milestone, we're going to start sketching the first wireframes. Actually, it's just sketches, concepting. But you'll see how we'll go into sketching everything and then slicing out what we don't want MVP features, what we don't want in the set of MVP features. That's why we need to go all out on the idea and then just take what is an MVP from it and build it. That's how we have awareness of what the product will be, but we build just the core, but we build it in a way that it can be everything we want it to be. So that's how every step of the process, even this one is tightly related to everything else. And usually this document, this document can be finalized and then you start building on it. But depending on the process and how you operate, feel free to contact me directly about that. This can be a live document that even it does sound final for now, it can be a live document during future phases of concepting, development, whatnot. So that's all what I had to say about monetization so far. There's a lot more, but I don't want to keep you any longer. If you have any questions, please write below, find me on social networks, and thanks for watching again. All the best. Ciao. Hey guys, I really hope I brought you value with this episode of the Digital Product Concepting and Innovation. Go ahead, subscribe, share this, pass it on, and let me know what you think.